Hey everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today we have Riot Unbreakable. So it's 3/4 pose. I couldn't really find a good one of him like looking forward, so we're gonna have to deal with a 3/4 pose in this one. All that means is that one of his eyes is a bit smaller than the other, and some of this face is like turned away, and that's why this eye is smaller. So that's the only thing you got to consider when you're doing a 3/4 pose. And of course you can see the jaw on this side, but not on the other side. So, but yeah, we can do it. So let's see. So we're going to start with his left eye because it's right along the middle line of the page. So just like here, it's a bit below halfway this way. So if you find your center point of your page, on mine it's about here, and we're just going to come down a little bit, and that's where his left eye is going to be. So we're just going to start with a diagonal line, just going up and to the left, just like that, like so. And then this is going to come down, and of course, like because he's like made of rock and stuff, where he's like super hardened, you know, it doesn't have to be a curved line. You can do it like angles, you know, like this, change in direction, and then curved up into here. So that's kind of the shape we're going for his eye. And then you can make maybe just this a little bit darker here. Not too much though. And then his iris just in here, so it's like a weird sort of diamond kind of thing going on. Like that. And then a pupil, so it's like kind of long sort of thing. Kind of looks like an animal's sort of eye maybe or something. So of course inside the eye then he's got like all these cracks running along the eye, like coming out, kind of like broken glass. Like that kind of thing. Coming out and around like a radial pattern, kind of like a spider's web or something. Going out like that. So trying to make it look like it's gone real hard. Okay. So his other eye, so it's now his head is turned away from us, so his other eye is slightly up from it. So it's like gonna start like here. So it's like above this one. So it's like not directly across, you just go up a little bit. Leave a bit of a gap. And then we go diagonal up this way. Up to about there. And then this is going to curve down. It can go sort of jaggedy as well if you wanted. And up into there. So then his iris then, just in here. So like, kind of like the other one, you just do like an angled sort of diamond sort of shape just in there, and a long pupil, so like a long circle like there, not a perfect circle, it's like a bit longer than a normal circle. And then in there we have all broken lines, just like the other eye. Like so. Coming up. Like that. And you'll notice this eye is a bit skinnier and a bit shorter than this one. A little bit shorter. And it's like angled up going that way because this part of his face is like turned away from us. So that's the main thing to consider. So once we've that done, we can do his kind of his mask sort of thing. It's the easiest thing to do next. So we just have to do the bit that comes down around his ear. So I'm going to do a line here, and it's going to come down underneath the eye. So like there. And then it's going to curve over his nose area. So it's going to go like up this way, across, and then down like so. And we have a bit that goes behind his face. So it's not, we can't see the whole thing like this side. It goes behind his face, so it disappears. So you just do a little spike there like that. So then we have, so like fangs or something sticking out of this. So there's pieces of metal, right? So comes down like so, comes out to like a tooth-like thing just here. And this has like another line on the inside. And then we're going to bring this across. So it's going to curve much like the top line. So it's going to go across like this to like there. And there may be a line to show a bit of it like sticking up just here in the center. Maybe here too. Like so. And then we have a tooth sticking down here, goes back up. And then a line up the center of it. Maybe a line up here as well, actually. And like that. Just to show it sort of sticking off the metal. And then this will come up to the other side of his jaw. Up like that. And then we can bring this line down inside, just there. And then the actual line for his jaw, so that's like here. So it's like there. And then this will change direction down like so. All the way down to like a point, all the way down here. And then we'll bring this side back up. To about there. And then it might just bump up a little bit just here. Of course it goes into his mouth then and around the other side, so we can't see really the other side of it. Yeah, it goes like behind a tooth here, so you can't really see it. And then the top side of that jaw line, so it goes down to there. We have another sharp point that comes down like so. Might have a line on it here. And then comes up to the chin area, back down to there, and then back up around to there. There might be a line just here as well. So in here then are like all his teeth, right? So we can just see his gum line just up here, right? So it's just underneath the metal area. So it like comes across, kind of bumpy, rocky sort of line coming across like that. And then there's all teeth underneath. So it comes around like real like sharp teeth, like crazy. So I'll start on the edge here. So like this. You fill this all in then. Sharp teeth. Like so. And they get real big up here. So he pretty much looks like a crazy animal. Sharp teeth going inside here. One there. There might be some lines and stuff coming up the inside of these. show that they're hard as well. And then we do the bottom row. So we just do like small ones here first. Little spikes, little triangles. And like a little mountain range down there. And the head is turned away, so they curve this way. And they get slightly bigger in the middle. Like here. The big ones start like here. So there. And we can see his like gum line just across the bottom of his chin, just here. And it comes up around like this. Into there. And so the rest of the teeth, like so, all going up into his mouth and around like so. And there could be some cracks on his gums and stuff down here, or his lips. And likewise on his top lip, add some cracks. And of course these run up all the way up his face, but I'll do them all together. We're drawing his face first. So the side of his face is going to come up real close to his eye here. So it's going to like come up this way. And it can be a sort of jaggedy line every now and then. Comes up to about there. And this has like a real sort of zigzagged hairline that comes all the way across. And you'll notice now like his eyes are about halfway. So whatever your distance was to the chin here, that's about the distance to the top of his hairline just up here. So you're going to add like all these zigzag lines now. Like this. All going to come across. And eventually it'll come down to the other side of his head. Down to there. I'll finish just his mask area here. So it like has a part that kind of curves up this way. And it goes in behind his hair, just about here. And there's like a bolt or something, or a screw, just there. And then we have another piece that comes down to protect his neck. So it like comes down diagonal like that. And then comes in. And goes down and out to a point. Comes back up. And into there. Right, so all the lines then on his face and stuff. So, right, so let's see. So we have like one here. Another one. Lots like around his nose area. Right there. There's like a dark shadow sort of portion here. Maybe some of these might have some dark shadow on them as well. And then of course eventually these will like run all the way up like the middle of his head. So it'll go like this way and then in and then up. So it like changes direction every now and then. Kind of like lightning or something. Like in, sharp angle, and then up to his hair. And then there might be like a dark section every now and then. Something like that. And then we'll go up this way. Dark section. lots of cracks and stuff. There's no special secret to this. You just gotta do them line by line. And you just go up, change direction every now and then. Up, in, go up, like that. And then you'll add like a dark shadow or something here. So it seems like some of the cracks are deeper than others. So that means they have to have like a deep black shadow. That's why some of them are colored in black. Like that. And don't worry if yours aren't exactly like mine. You know, once you just get it sort of looking like his face has got cracks and stuff, you shouldn't be too bad. Right, and like inside his teeth, they're all dark black as well. Like in his mouth, I mean. Oh, and I think just this might have a little edge on it down here. Just a little one, just going up. Like that. Right, so now his hair. So his hair, real spiky, just big jaggedy rocks with like cracks and stuff all going up it. So we're just gonna start on this side with one going this way. Spiking like so. And then we'll spike like so. So you're adding like changes of direction. So not curving hair spikes like some characters would have. You want to go sharp angles and straight lines. That's the trick. So like that. And it goes, they basically go up and around all the way to the top of my page, and they get kind of bigger as we go up. And then I'll do all the texture lines inside when the general shapes are done. So the next one then. Like that. And hit that pause button, guys, if I go too fast. I don't know if I said that already. Spiking up here, back into there. So see how high up we've gone now? So it's like his hair is nearly like the length of his whole face. So nearly, it's about that. So there's like big ones back here, and then there's like a layer of smaller ones just down in here. So we'll do the big ones first. So it kind of goes up that way. Back in. That. So we're going to bring it all the way down to his shoulder, then down here. So spiking. Big one spiking out here. Spikes down. Sticks out to the next one. That. Spikes out to here. Back in. Like so. Kind of reminds me of like crystals or ice or something. growing up his head. And this one will go into his shoulder, which is just here, and it's got those like big gears on his shoulder, so you can't really see these spikes here because there's like a line that comes around for the shoulder. But sure, we'll leave that and then we'll do the rest of the hair. We'll come back to that. So we've like another layer of like spikes here, so like say here. So like coming up this way. Line there. And spike that way. And then kind of a big one here. Comes down that way. And then see, like this might come up a bit further. This line might come up into there. This comes up, spikes there. Another one here to there. This line actually comes all the way down to there. Joins that. And then spikes this way. Spikes up to here, back to there. Down, back up. So I know I'm not giving too much instruction here, but there isn't much I can say. It's just angled lines, really. So we have one, say, that comes down beside his face, just there, goes back up, into here, up into there, and then we'll go back this way. Complicated character, so use your pause button a lot. To there, back in, up here, up and in, and then back down into there, up to another spike here, back in, another spike, comes down like so, like that, like so, and then there's, okay, so we'll have to draw the line for his shoulder just so we know where to stop. So there's gears, right? So you just have a curved line here, broken sort of curved line that goes down right by the side of his face there, and like down to here. So that's where his shoulder is, this line. And then his hair stops in there, and there's some like texture lines and stuff just back in here. Like so. So now I'm just going to add all texture lines and stuff running up and down his head. So that's what I got so far. Pretty complicated, I know. I hope it's helping someone out there, but he's a complicated character. He must be a nightmare to animate. I wonder how they do it. They probably use like computers or something. Anyway, on with the show. Okay, so I think that's the best I could do. So pretty complicated. Took a while, but a lot of lines and stuff. Bit of shadow back here. Good bit of shadow back here, more than most places. Just on this side of his hair. And some darker areas dotted around the back side of his head, just here as well. So just pause your video here and try and duplicate that as best you can. And we'll move on. So, right, so this shoulder, right? So we have this sort of curved area, this curved dash line here. So each of these corresponds to a top of a gear, right? So we go like that. And then this will curve on this side as well, like that. And this will curve all the way. So following this side down like this. And these have like all lines that go across here. Like so. And so the inside of that is like his shoulder. So it's just here, right? So we have a curved line that comes all the way down like that. So that's actually his shoulder, right? So where his like clothing is, right? So that comes down like here, and then we have some lines that stick out, and then it goes down off the page. So like that's like his tricep goes off down there, and then his bicep will come down this way, and you could have like some fold lines and stuff like so every now and then. So this gear will attach to this shoulder. So it'll like, let's see, so we'll do the bottom one first. So it like curves around and goes in like here, right? And the bottom of it goes up like so. Like there. And then each of these gears, like this is the top of each one, right? And then the bottom will be like in here. Like so. And then this will go diagonal to there. Like so. So you're making an edge all the way along. Like this. Up into there. So you try to make it look like these are sticking up. This side and there. This one, like this one, will wrap around the back of his shoulder. So we'll go down to there, and down like so. And then we got to do the other side. So these go that way, down like this to there, diagonal, down, up. And then there'll be some lines inside just to show they have a bottom to them. Like that. Right, so that's one shoulder. So he's kind of hunched over and he's like making a fist on this side. So we can see like his chest comes down, say from his chin, say somewhere here. So just at the point of his chin, this is where his chest will be. So he's like, his head is leaning forward, but his chest will look a bit smaller, right? So it's gonna come in like that. And then we have lines for his abdomen just underneath. And his chest will like come up like so. So that's one pectoral muscle. The next one beside it, so they're like zigzaggy sort of lines as well. So we're going this way. And this one will be a bit bigger, so it'll go to there. And then underneath the gears. Like that. And this is like an ab muscle, and it goes just into his logo that's like on his belt. So it's like, say here. So it's like this sort of semicircle. If you can fit a full circle, you could draw the full R. I can only fit that much. And then the side of his body is going to come down into this. So this kind of sticks off and goes down into there. And the other side of that belt will come up in like so. So he's got sort of the other side of his belt here, comes into the R area, and then we have some clothing sort of lines here, like that, and this is going to come down his leg to there, and then we may have some more, but we have to draw his hand first. Anyway, we'll finish the R. Just here. If you can fit more of that in, feel free. And then, right, so in at his neck, there's like a shadow just underneath his chin here. Like so. And then like the top of his chest muscles should be under here somewhere, like coming down like this. And then this one will come up like so. And this should be like his collarbone, but you can barely see it. It's just like some zigzag sort of lines, and this one's like a darker line, like a shadow line. Just there. And then a line coming up for his neck and maybe around his Adam's apple, just there. And a line in here. And then there's some cracks coming up his neck as well. Or like some veins or something. I imagine they're cracks. Here as well. And there's actually a dark shadow in here. Right, so then zigzag line coming up along his chest here as well. So trying to make his chest look like it's made of stone. Like so, coming across here as well. Then there's a shadow under his chest in his abdominal area. Just there. And then we've got lots of like abdominal lines, like lots of cracks and stuff down in this area. So some lines are like thicker than others. That's the main thing to remember down here. So like the obliques have like dark shadows on them somewhere. Like that. So, and some more shadow up here. And like the bottom of his belt, somewhere like here as well. More shadow. So this is a complicated drawing. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's pretty much his torso. So then his other shoulder. So his other gear shoulder. Right, so like here. So we've a line there and it like curves. this way. And then it's going to go into his chin. That's the bottom of that gears, right? And then they go in. Lines go in each side. This one goes into his teeth, just there. This one goes in like so. And then diagonal, 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 there. So doing the insides of the gears, like this. I'm never drawing Red Riot Unbreakable again. This is probably going to be a really long video. So that, see the angle of his body now. So the gears, those gears are like going in the same direction, right? And then the other shoulder sticks out kind of here. Okay, we're nearly there. So his hand. So let's see. So his wrist line kind of comes out like this to his where his thumb is. Like there. So it's like the start line for his hand, the bottom line for like his arm. So he's got like ripped sort of clothing on. And then it comes out to like there. So that's like his arm. And he's got some ripped clothing here as well. And on the inside. Right, so that's his wrist basically. So his thumb, so he's like making a fist. He's got knuckles here. So we meet his thumb first. So his thumb comes up like that, like an arrow pointing up. And it comes down, bumping down to a real pointy, like he's got claws, like real pointy thumb area. Like that. It looks like an icicle or something. And this has kind of like lines on it as well. Fair play to anyone who's able to draw this, because this is nuts. This is not simple. And then this comes out like so, down like this, and this is going to come out to his knuckle here, like that. Curves around for the next knuckle, there. Next knuckle. Down like there. And this is like his little finger knuckle somewhere here, I think. Yeah, that looks right. Then this comes up to there. And in. And next finger there. Next finger here. And the next finger goes in there somewhere. And the outside of it, like here. Somewhere. Like that. And then there could be like a shadow just in at his thumb there. Some more kind of crack lines. Knuckle line, knuckle line. Shadow here. Shadow kind of here. Line's going across. Line coming up. And line there. Kind of crack lines. Shadow. And then like the palm of his hand kind of sticks out like just a rock down here. So it like sticks out like that. And then goes in to there. And then we've lines going up his wrist. Right, so That's the best I can do with his hand, and then the rest of his clothing sort of comes down this way, kind of bumps off. He's got like something on his leg here, and there's a bit of a ripped area like that, and something comes back up to there, back in, and then a round section like goes into his hand there, and then it has an inner portion like here, and goes back around to there. Okay, shadow just on his wrist, and there as well. And I think that is everything. Of course, you know, if you wanted, you could do like rocks and stuff flying around him, but not 100% necessary. But I think I'll leave it like that. That is how to draw Red Riot. Ridiculously hard and complicated. That's how you draw him the complicated way. Okay. So I hope it helped someone out there anyway. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.